Good morning, everyone. This is my Project 13. It is early in the morning, and I am headed out for work, shooting this video with the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. And this is a special request video from Roger Whitkind or Whitkind. I don't know if I'm saying your last name right. So I'm just going to go with Roger. Utilizing the front-facing camera right now with my S22 Ultra. He wanted to see how the video quality was going to be in a very low light situation in the dark. Even though we do have some light source out there, as far as street lights, car lights, building lights, whatever can come into this area to help the video out as far as how much you're able to see, especially if you're shooting video utilizing the front-facing camera. So it's going to be a rainy one. And then I'm gonna go to the rear cam and shoot some 1080p 30 frames per second, which I find is the best for this type of video. But I may switch it up as well to 1080p 60 frames, which tends to be a little bit darker due to the extra frames. The device itself, when shooting video in 1080p 60, working a little harder, so the video tends to be just a little bit darker. The S22 Ultra actually does really well when using that setting. So we'll see. Now I am utilizing my touchscreen here in my car and my Google Pixel 6 Pro. The display is on, so it's helping with getting a little extra light here in the car. So if you're going to shoot video like this, figure something out that can work so you do get that extra light, so it's not so dark. You don't want to use your in-car lights. That's illegal unless it's an emergency, so you can just figure that one out. So what I'm going to do is switch to the rear. There's not a lot of traffic this early in the morning. I want to make sure that I keep it safe as well. So for Roger, huge shout out to you for your request. Longtime team player here on Team My Project 13. I appreciate you. And everyone else, whether you've been here for a long time or you're new, I appreciate your time, your support. Enjoy the video for what it is, the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra video test with the front-facing cam, and then we're going to go to the rear here in just a second. We got some traffic here, so I want to make sure I don't take my attention off from what's going on. So I'm going to stop the video, and I'm going to switch it up. All right, I'm back. There's a little bit of traffic back there. 1080p 30 frames per second. Visually, I hope everything looks great, and I hope the stability is doing well. A lot of rain, windshield wipers going back and forth. The good thing is that you're not seeing any focus hunting due to those windshield wipers going back and forth. A little darker than usual due to the fact that there's a lot of clouds out there. And yeah, that's why we have rain, right? Gonna get my coffee here, got my Mickey D's dollar coffee, and just drive the speed limit. When it's raining on the freeway, man, you don't want to go crazy. There's some slippery spots. I've seen a lot of folks just ignore the fact that it's raining and you can hydroplane, and they're hitting 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, and bam! I don't want to be that person. So let me know how everything looks right now. The one thing that you can do is play around with some options here as far as visually, you know, it's going into ultra wide, regular wide, 3x zoom, 10x zoom. And I'll show you that here in just a second, but I wanted to take a drink. All right, so let's switch it up to ultra wide. You can see my little baby Yoda over there that my daughter gave me. And it's cool that you can do this while you're shooting video. Okay, let's go back to 1x zoom. Times zoom. Now this is very usable, very usable. During the day, obviously everything's going to be much easier to see. But in the dark, low light situation like this, still everything looks really, really great in my opinion. 10x zoom, you start to lose the quality of the video. Distortion going on there. But if you needed to use it, you can use it. I would say 3x zoom is probably the cutoff point. But you can do whatever you want. Okay, back to 1x zoom. Let's go ahead and switch it up to 1080p 60 frames. 1080p 60 frames. Now you let me know if the video looks a little bit darker to you. Again, the S22 Ultra does a really great job in 60 frames per second in comparison to a lot of other smartphones, a lot of high-end smartphones. Usually the video quality at this point would be a little bit darker than it is right now. I mean, it's looking really good. So I hope you're getting what you want, Roger, and for anybody else that's interested, right here, it's a little bit darker out there. But as far as the video quality, it's looking great, man. It's looking great. Yeah. Smooth quality. I do have my S22 Ultra attached to my iAudi dash mount. Got the heat up a little too high. Everything looking great. Why don't we jump into 4K 30 frames, and that's what I'm going to upload the video at, is 4K even 60 frames. We'll do both of those, so I'll switch that up now. 4K 30 frames per second. How is everything looking to your eyeballs? To mine, everything's looking great. You know, number one rule, be safe. This early in the morning, there is not a lot of traffic. You don't want to be messing around with your phone when there's a lot of traffic. You want to make sure that you're aware of what's going on around you, and doing your best to keep your eyes on the road. You know, when you're driving off the freeway into the neighborhood, there's a lot more light as far as that coming into the car, helping the video quality, as far as whether it's going to be brighter or darker. That's why I like testing on the freeway, because it's a bit darker. You know, you only have these freeway lights and whatever passes by as far as a truck, a car. You know, you got the headlights, the rear lights. But yeah, so this is a really great time to test out this type of video test. So we'll switch it up to 4K 60 frames. 4K 60 frames. frames per second. Yeah, everything looking good. Even with the windshield wipers. Let me turn those off for a little bit here. Not a lot of rain coming down. There we go. And then back to 1080p, 30 frames. I'll tell you, 1080p, 30 frames works great. Works great. Again, if you're driving during the day and shooting video, it's that changes everything, right? Really dark here. Look at those red lights. Bam. So we got a bit more light coming into the car. Green lights are really nice and bright. Had to shut the video off. Had a couple folks back there that I don't know what was going on. Mentally unstable or on something, but it was, I had to shut the video off. So let me know how everything looks. And again, for me, 1080p 30 frames per second looks great in low light situation. It just does. But with the S22 Ultra, it looks like utilizing the other settings as far as the resolution, you can play with that. I mean, it looks great. The video quality in 60 frames per second is not as dark as some of the other higher end smartphones that I've used. So I'm pretty stoked, and I'm sure, Roger, you're going to be pretty stoked to see this video test, and hopefully you get out of it what you are looking for. And yeah. Ultra wide, regular wide, 3 times zoom, 10 times zoom. Roger, leave some feedback, and for anyone else who wants to leave feedback, please do so. I hope that for you, Roger, this gives you a little more to go on as far as making a decision whether to purchase the S22 Ultra or not. Appreciate the request. And for anybody else that has a request, you can ask, and I will do my best to get to it. Can't always, but I try. I really do. I'm going to take a drink of my Mickey D's coffee. One smack for a large coffee. Can't beat that. I don't think I have anything else. Oh yeah, my display is off now on my Google Pixel 6 Pro that I was using to help with some extra light within the car here. I do have my touchscreen on and the speedometer, the little bit of light that's coming from there. So let me know how that looks, plus a little bit of the light coming in from outside here at work. So yeah, it helps. It's a little different when you're on the road. At times, depending on where I'm at, can be you can have a little more or a little less. So yeah, just figure out how you want to utilize all of that when shooting front-facing video in low light or in the dark. But I have the way that I do it, and it works. So anyway, God bless you all, man. Stay safe and healthy.